I want you all to think about the majority of your customers. Do they truly like you? Now, before you raise your hand on that, let me define what I mean by like here. Do they feel you're giving them quality, value, support, and speed of service? So who in here feels their customers like them? Okay, great, thank you. Now what about love? Love, I'm defining as when your customers are excited to come see you and when they tell all their friends about you. So who in here thinks that their customers love them? All right, almost as many. What about loyalty? Now, before you raise your hand on this one, do you even track loyalty? Do you track customer churn, repeat business, and referrals? Because if you don't, you only have an illusion of loyalty. So now that you know how I'm defining this, who in here feels their customers are loyal to them? Okay, and a few less here on this one. To illustrate how you can apply this to your business, allow me to indulge me for a quick overview of what it was like in my business. So I haven't had the chance to speak to each of you yet about what causes those ups and downs in your business, but for us, it was rain. And no, I'm not a farmer. I was in the car wash business. And our customers were always asking, could I wash today? There's clouds in the sky. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to waste my money. And I imagine you all have been in those shoes before. So that was happening to our customers all the time. So we had unpredictable revenue because of rain. We had customer churn. And we even had operational chaos where we didn't even know how to staff sometimes. So you might be asking, well, how did you solve for this? We got very clear on the 3 stages of customer feelings. We figured out that like, love, loyalty was the path forward. See, like is the basics. It's just the cost of doing business, the bare minimum to get your customers to continue to come to you and give you a second try even. To transform from like to love is where it becomes more about the experience. Okay, you washed my car, great. But did you pick up the wiper blade and wipe under it on the windshield? Did you put a towel down on the ground so I could wipe my feet before I got in the car? That's what creates the experience. And when you transform to loyalty, that's where it's no longer a luxury spend, it's a necessity. Because it's your identity, it's who you are. So you can't be without it. So over time, I realized that the like, love, loyalty model could be applied to any business. And as I spoke to more business owners, I realized it should be applied to every business. Not only because it's what customers wanted, but because it reduced customer churn, it evened out that unpredictability, it led to smoother operations, which led to increased profits. Now, I want to talk to you about how you can establish like in your business. I'm not sure if you immediately liked this guy, but I sure did. This was my grandfather, and this was the business he started in 1953, Jack's Car Wash. Look at that, 49 cents for a full-service car wash. It's $30 today. My grandfather instilled in my father, my uncles, and I to take care of our customers, and they would take care of us. Here's us in 1984 at a car wash convention, and don't I look excited to be there? But honestly, I was. I loved going to these with my dad. I learned so much. I've been going every year since I think 82 with him. So once we get the customer in the door, we need to get them to like us. And so many businesses don't prioritize this. See, washing is an ego stroke. Choosing to wash your car is saying, I care enough about my image to take care of my stuff. So Many of you may already prioritize these qualities, but bear with me as there might be a few nuggets for you. So at Jack's, we provided quality. We were not the cheapest. In fact, we were the most expensive. And that's because we provided a clean, dry, and shiny car consistently. So we were the busiest. Our name was synonymous with quality. In fact, here in Boulder, when I ask people where they wash their car, I know it's the funny thing to ask somebody, right? But when I meet somebody, that's what I ask them, because I've been in it my whole life. They'll say, oh, you know, it's that place over on Arapahoe and 95th, or it's that place across from the YMCA. They don't know the name of where they wash their car. In Detroit, people wouldn't say, I'm going to wash my car. They'd say, I'm going to Jack's. And this is the result when you associate your brand with quality. We provided value. Now, value is perceived. It could be conscious or subconscious, but it's perceived. So and perception is reality in the minds of the customer, right? So we have to make value obvious and undeniable. We provided support. When you had a problem, you weren't greeted by some teenager. You were greeted by an adult who was trained and empowered to make it right, because we had a motto, no unhappy customers. And speed of service. We know that today, time is everyone's most valuable commodity. If you lose money, you can make more. Admit it. If your car ends up at the bottom of the ocean, you can get a new one. I mean, it's not likely to happen in Colorado, but you never know. When you lose time, you can't get it back. Not at least until Doc Brown gives us access to his DeLorean time machine. But at Jack's Car Wash, we were flex service, meaning you could choose exterior only or full service, which is where we do the inside. And customers wanted to get in and out in 5, maybe 10 minutes. Now, that wasn't a problem if the customer chose the exterior only wash, where the car goes through the conveyor, gets sudsed up, goes through the soft cloth, then the blowers, and then we towel dry it. That was easy. We could always get that done in 5 minutes or less. Where it was challenging was when they wanted the interior done. We had to vacuum between the seats, clean the smoky windows, the sticky cup holders, the grimy door jambs, the muddy floor mats. And we had to do it fast because they wanted it done right and they wanted it done quickly. So we did time studies. We figured out which is the fastest way to do this. And we had different solutions based on if we had 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people on a car. And that depended on how busy we were. So there was a different process based on how many people were working on the car. And again, this is because the customer wants it done right and they want it done fast. So what 3 things can you do when you get back to your desk to make your speed of service better without sacrificing quality?